Yeah, it's amazing work. Yeah, it's lovely to be back.
Chris Wells is the
Hello.
morning. Welcome to the City of Truro.
Nice to be back.
David is
Hello. How are you?
And so, lovely.
Oh, yeah. Nice to see you. Lovely to catch up. See what's happening here.
I think but largely very similar to the last week we were here.
Good morning. How are you? Very nice to see you. Good morning. Hello. Hello.
How are you?
Hello. Very nice to see you again. So what have we got to do? How much do you spread?
Very nice.
Yes. Yes. Small beginnings.
Very much so, yeah. Not far away
Yes.
Nice to be resembled to so many people.
Yeah. Well, no, I sort of.
So soon.
Yeah.
Like you say, we've come a very long way from more bespoke, moving towards shelter kits and different forms of shelter.
So lovely that.
It is, yes. I mean, a couple
It
more
is. You
areas.
say it.
It does.
Say it.
Yeah. And in terms of shipping costs and palleted items, it's not only quicker but easier to transport.
So you're finding more and more places.
And
Remembering how I saw it.
Beforehand, yeah. And if you remember, we started off with mostly shipping those big green boxes.
Exactly. Yeah.
We've moved on, we found new ways of working that's loads more efficient and effective, and certainly working with the communities that we're supporting, asking them all the questions. They tell us what they actually want in terms of shelter. So if I could show you just around here. So you'll remember the larger green boxes which originally were going out.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember back.
I had you in gloves to go in there.
Yes.
But, so using things like the emergency intents are fantastic, really quick. We know how much we can move to one place absolutely because we need to. But what we're finding more and more is, depending on the context, the environment we're working in, people we're serving, reducing their room space, we're having to have all sorts of different interventions, all the way through to taking modifications of the tent to something like this Sahelian, obviously not to scale well, but a tent kind of shaped in the way that it's typically the shelters typically seen in Burkina Faso. We've kind of modified our shelters to look a bit like that, so you can see them actually live in practice here. But we're also having to do all sorts of other adaptations, so we're trying to understand how we can move people on as far along their kind of sheltering journey to get them as close to back to normal shelter or their previous shelter as possible. So anything like earth brick shelters in Burkina Faso, typically because of the temperature soaring because of climate change, we're now working with shelters to try and reduce the temperature. It's working really well, so we're proud of that. But anyway,
Well,
it's a pleasure. I'll leave you
I'll do it for you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Two colleagues here have got some very interesting.
Hello.
So I first assisted with Boxing Day tsunami in 2004. It was quite frightening.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. And I'm Katie. I work in the learning development shelter for about 9 years. And so we've got some of our essential aid items that complement our shelter responses. Talking about just putting a roof over people's heads, but also what else do people need in those times of crisis. So Rich will talk to you about our solar lights.
Thank you, Katie. So we've started with the evolution of the lemonade lights. Over the years, ShelterBox has discussed with our communities and that we've assisted, and also with companies that provide these items. And we started off with this model, which actually, as you can see, is rectangular in shape. It's got various light settings. It takes about 20 hours to charge. It's actually got a really nice diffuse light. Because of the shape of it, it's also a much warmer light. So turn it up, you can actually see the difference between the two.
And they can be charged, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're coming up with these ones.
Absolutely. We do find that light is so important. It helps with the security and protection.
Oh, I sure.
The clean water coming through the tube.
Yeah.
It's, yes, absolutely. So it's it will take.
Yeah. How is it?
So here we have, so it's a really low cost item, flexible, so you can see behind you the type of thing that it can go into making. The main item is really for shopping. I was fortunate to see these deployed in places like Ukraine where there are holes that you're patching up. But really, really flexible kit. It comes with all the tools you might need to sort of do anything on ground clearance. Yeah, that's it, absolutely. Skilled flip-flops. It would terrify me. But yeah, really flexible set of stuff that enables you to repair or rebuild. That comes with all starts with 40 meters of brick like that. We've broken down. So eventually and one of the newer items is the curved needle. And that allows
Yes.
With all the pots and pans.
And this shelter is made for just 2 tons. So they come.
Oh, so they
You see a bag here, so that's how they distribute it direct. Yeah, and we're learning all the time, so we include things like how concepts and things so you can make sure that it's very robust. Some of the developments we have include
hello, Claire.
and that's just come back in kind of really more about
So I was just in Canada 3 months ago, returning in a couple of weeks. So fantastic, really. They 5 years to change. So one of the things that we'll do is room committees, something 15 years. So then it's really been changing. And so we're currently, it's really exciting. We're working directly with the community, with the partner, the local partner, to identify how we can actually strengthen some of the structures because we're now trying to identify ways through things like strapping, through improving the process, also because we're aware of likely the end for quite a long time. So that's sort of the evolution of ShelterBox.
So 2018 we started. Yeah, so we've got 2,500 members now all around the country, and they're leading groups from the countries that we're working with. So we've got with them yeah, all the different ones. So the authors and students are based there. And yeah, it's a real range and it helps to connect our supporters to the people that they are supporting. So we're not really the abundance. It's on the far right there. Which actually is about a Gujarati Indian family in America, but Gujarat being the place that ShelterBox offers responses. Perfect for the phone.
opens up your mind to a whole world of goings on.
Dance was so different for me.
So this
And you're gathering
All the time. All members will look, yeah. Nothing
Yeah.
Well, I know. I live in the house. I mentioned that. So Washington. Oh, there's a I know. Well, they've gone from strength to strength. I remember. This has got bigger and better. It's not a coffee. ShelterBox chair. Yeah. You have?
Yes, yeah.
That's quite a sick time on market.
18.
80. I've gone 80.
Yeah. Long enough to be able to.
Hello. Oh, chair. Oh, the chair. Chair. So how long is chair? Yeah. So you
I saw you have a show. Take a couple of steps back.
Yeah. And you keep going ever since. So, what else? Are you going to do something else?
Yes, so I'm now going outside from London to Paris last summer. So, I've got to tell
I'm sure you will. Congratulations. Hello. Are you on? No, I know. Incredible how you do it.
Travelling the Middle East and Africa.
Oh,
Selling these plentiful things.
no, as I said, I don't know what happened to that for me.
No.
It was such
Yeah, absolutely.
absolute pleasure. Hello. Lovely. Every day. Yeah. Before I leave, firstly I wanted to say how lovely it is to be back in Cornwall again. Having decamped to Lancaster, it's been rather strange not coming here every year, but it's a real joy to be back, and especially to come back to ShelterBox, which I think was probably the first patronage I took over here, and I cannot believe it was 18 years ago since seeing the two good-looking Cornishmen come on in Pakistan after the earthquake there. I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought, what on earth are they doing with a mule with a box on the top? So I went back and found out a little bit more about this wonderful charity. After that, the rest is history, as they say. But I just wanted to congratulate everybody who's been part of it, to say what a wonderful, wonderful excellent job you're doing. Unfortunately, you're going to be needed more and more. So thank goodness you're there to supply all these much needed equipment for all these poor people. So thank you all very much for your contribution. Thank you.
I think we'll